So I'm coming back to the cathedral in Tampico. So several things. First of all, in the middle of it we have a Byzantine style painting which was added later on. You can see it here, and then there's an English clock which is sounding right now because it is now 5 p.m. in the afternoon. So the elephant in the cathedral is the Nazi symbol, the swastikas on the floor. So there are several possible explanations for that. So obviously some people believe that this had something to do with the Nazis in Germany, because maybe German funds funded a renovation or reconstruction of this. This, I guess, is possible, but we don't really have a lot of evidence going for that, especially with the church mostly being finished before the Nazi party rose to power. The second explanation was that perhaps when Christians were persecuted, they used some sort of a deformed or disguised cross, and it looked like, you know, the swastika. So this is of course possible, and it happened in other places, but at the same time I don't think Catholics were ever persecuted in Mexico in the history of the entire land, and so I don't think you can say they were trying to hide the fact that they were Catholics, especially with this being the cathedral and all. A third explanation was that it was a symbol with origin in Hinduism, which was obviously true, but at the same time, what has that got to do with Catholicism and Christianity in general? Nothing. And so I really don't think any of these makes sense to me. So the one that makes a little bit of sense to me was that in the Western world, the swastikas were used as symbols for good luck. And you can actually see the swastikas being used all over Europe and North America, and obviously the rest of the world, without any Nazi connections. And, you know, before Nazism was created, was a movement. And so I think that's probably the explanation, although obviously I don't think anyone knows the true answer to that. So the other part of the debate is, so regardless of the origin or the reason for the you know, swastikas, should they be covered or removed? Now that, you know, we see a swastika, we think that's Nazism. And I think that is a debate that is quite relevant today, because that's related to, you know, things like statues and whether we should pull them down in general. So obviously there's an argument that that's a part of our history, or maybe not mine, but, you know, the history of this place, and so we should preserve them. Some people would say that, oh, if it's just history, then maybe we should just put them in a museum. So that's obviously you know, an argument as well. Although of course, how do you just remove the floor and place it into a museum? I think that is a difficult thing to do. And then, you know, the other part of it is like, okay, so this is the Western world, but, you know, what if people in Japan use the swastika to represent Buddhism, for example, which they have been doing, because after all, that is a symbol that rooted in, you know, a number of Indian religions. So I don't have an answer to that. I think people in Tampico and in Mexico in general are not coming to this cathedral, and it's like Hell Hitler or whatever. And so I don't think there is an actual encouragement of Nazism in this country simply because of, you know, the existence of the swastikas in the cathedral. I don't see people coming to take pictures of those swastikas, well, apart from curious tourists, you know, and then like, I don't know, having some pro-Nazi propaganda with it. And so I think for now they don't hurt, I guess, and they were most likely not built with Nazism in mind. So I guess if I'm asked, and I'm not asked for my opinion, but if I'm asked for my opinion, I guess I would support the status quo, because right now it isn't really hurting anybody. Yeah. But what do you think? Comments below.